everybody, it's Paige, and in today's video I'm going to be going over my February TBR, which is my to be read list. I have about 8 books that I plan to read this month. Hopefully I can get to all of them. I tend to be a little bit ambitious when it comes to my reading goals, but I think that I can do it. Some of these books are a little bit shorter, so I feel like this is not an unrealistic expectation for myself. I have my stack of books here. I'm gonna go through all of them, show you what is on my list, and give you a little bit of information on each book. There will not be any spoilers in today's video, only information that can be found on the back of the books. I will have all of these linked down below in the description box, along with my Goodreads and my Amazon wish list, and also a playlist of all of my book-related videos here on YouTube. I am so excited because today's video is actually a collaboration with my amazing friend Kristen. Her name is Kristen Owens here on YouTube. I will have her channel linked down below in the description box. She is also posting a February TBR video. We are buddy reading a few books, but the other ones are different, so go check out her video, say hello, tell her I sent you, subscribe to her channel. Let's help her get to 1,000 subscribers. You guys could be one of the first 1,000 subscribers on her channel. Like, how cool would that be? When she's famous one day, y'all will be there from the beginning. So go check out Kristen's YouTube channel. Also, I will have her Instagram and other socials linked down below. You may have heard me talk about her on my channel before. Her name is K-Bugs as well, Kristen or K-Bugs. Either way, she owns J Sky Clothing Co., which I've also talked about on my channel, and she's just awesome. I actually met her through social media and we became really good friends, and she's amazing. You guys will love her, so go check out her video, subscribe to her channel, and yeah, you're gonna love her. I don't remember if I already said this or not, but her and I are buddy reading a couple of books this month, so we do have some overlapping books in our TBR videos, but the other ones I just picked without even telling her. So yeah, she'll probably end up reading all of the books that I read and then some, because she's a much faster reader than I am. I tend to be a little bit ambitious with my reading goals, which I, again, don't know if I already said that or not, but it is true. I think I only read 3 books in January, and I'm aiming for 8 in December, not December, February. Oh my gosh, my months are all mixed up right now. I actually haven't even read 3 books this month. This is my 3rd book, and today is the last day of January when I'm filming this, so I gotta finish this book. I have about 120 pages left or so. So I still have some work to do today. This is The Legacy by Elle Kennedy. This is the 5th book in the Off-Campus series. I will be completing the Off-Campus series, and I can't believe it. I loved this series. I plan on doing an entire video on this series, not giving any spoilers away, but just kind of laying out the series, giving you guys descriptions of the books, and just telling you how cool it is. So stay tuned for that video. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into my TBR. If you guys are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy, and let's go ahead and get started. Also, I actually made a template for February for the books that I'm reading this month, and I posted it over on my Instagram stories. I have a highlight called templates, and that's where you guys can find it. You guys can hold the screen down and screenshot, and I also have a little tutorial on how to use the template, how to screenshot and make the little covers of the book small. It's super cute. I'll throw up an example here from January. I did one for January, and that was my first one ever, and it was so fun to see what you guys are reading, so you guys should go screenshot this Instagram story and tag me when you post your updates about the books that you've read this month. So the first 4 books that I'm going to talk about are my buddy reads. So the first one is Addicted to You by, I don't even know who this is by, Krista and Becca Ritchie. This is quite a long series. This series and then the Calloway Sisters series intertwine / overlap, so in my mind it's all one big series, and I plan on reading all of the books. I think there might be like 7 or 8 books in both series combined. I could be wrong, but I think there's at least 7 or 8 books. This is the first one. I have never read anything from these authors, and I have heard such amazing things about this book and also the series as a whole. Also, just a general disclaimer, the books that I'm talking about, just assume they're 18 plus. I don't know for sure, but just assume. And also make sure you guys look up trigger warnings anytime you want to read a book, because of the books that I have read so far, quite a few of them include topics that could be sensitive to some, so definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, I won't give any specific trigger warnings in case that has to do with spoilers. Just look them up for yourself if you feel that you want to. Okay, so this one I can already tell is gonna be 18 plus. I can't even read the back of this book to you because I just can't. It would be out of character. I just finished reading the back of this book and I can confirm that I cannot read this on my channel. So if you guys are interested in this book, I guess look it up on Goodreads or Amazon and read the summary there. I just don't, I don't know. I feel like I can't read this. So yeah, definitely I don't even know what I can say about this other than look it up. I can't wait to read this though. It sounds very event filled and intense. Intense is a good word. So we will read this and we'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna be fantastic because I have not heard a single negative review on this book or the series, so I have very high expectations for that one. Sorry I couldn't give you more details, but for this next one I will be able to give you more details. This is called The Fine Print and this is by Lauren Asher. I am so excited about this. This is the first book in the Dreamland Billionaires series, and this is a dual POV book, so it comes from two different perspectives, two different characters' perspectives. We have Rowan and we have Zara. So I will go ahead and read the back to you guys. So under Rowan, it says, I'm in the business of creating fairy tales. Theme parks, production companies, 5-star hotels, everything could be all mine if I renovated Dreamland. My initial idea of hiring Zara was good in theory, but then I kissed her. Things spiraled out of control once I texted her using an alias. By the time I realized where I went wrong, it was too late. People like me don't get happy endings, not when we're destined to ruin them. So we've got a little billionaire man who is named Rowan and he owns a theme park. So that's pretty exciting and unique for a book, in my opinion. I have not heard that anywhere else. And then we have Zara, who he hired, so she works for him. And under Zara, it says, after submitting a drunk proposal criticizing Dreamland's most expensive ride, I should have been fired. Instead, Rowan Kane offered me a dream job. The catch, I had to work for the most difficult boss I'd ever met. Rowan was rude and completely off limits, but my heart didn't care. At least not until I discovered his secret. It was time to teach the billionaire that money couldn't fix everything, especially not us. That sounds freaking incredible to me. I cannot wait to read this book. This book and Addicted are both probably going to be my first two reads of the month. Well, maybe my first three, I don't know, but I can't really wait much longer to read these. I've had them for quite some time and I can't wait any longer. So I'm excited for both of those. Like I said, those are two buddy read books, meaning that Kristen and I are going to try to read them at roughly the same time. Like I said, Kristen reads much faster than me, so she usually reads like 3 books in the time it takes me to read one. But I'm gonna try to buckle down and read all 8 of these books this month, which is gonna be a big goal, but also I think achievable. Moving on to the third book on my TBR, we have Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. This is a new release. This launched January 18th. This launched. Do people use the word launched in terms other than makeup? I don't know. This released on January 18th. I have had this pre-ordered since like October or November or something. I love Colleen Hoover. She is an automatic buy for me. Even if I don't know what it's about, I'm buying the book. She is my all-time favorite author, and I was so excited to hear that she was coming out with a new book. So this is Reminders of Him. Once again, I'm gonna go ahead and read you guys the back. This one seems very emotional, so be prepared for that. But it says, a young mother fights to earn a place in her child's life, but is there room for her? After serving 5 years in prison for a tragic mistake, Kenna Rowan returns. Rowan? That's so weird. Kenna Rowan returns to the town where it all went wrong, hoping to reunite with her 4-year-old daughter. But the bridges Kenna burned are proving impossible to rebuild. Everyone in her daughter's life is determined to shut Kenna out, no matter how hard she works to prove herself. The only person who hadn't closed the door on her completely is Ledger Ward, a local bar owner and one of the few remaining links to Kenna's daughter. But if anyone were to discover how Ledger is slowly becoming an important part of Kenna's life, both would risk losing the trust of everyone important to them. The two form a connection despite the pressure surrounding them, but as their romance grows, so does the risk. Kenna must find a way to absolve the mistakes of her past in order to build a future out of hope and healing. So it sounds very intense. When I read the back of it, I don't immediately think romance book. I'm not sure what this is considered, fiction or romance, but obviously there is going to be some sort of romance, at least I think, between Kenna and Ledger. But it sounds very interesting. It sounds like a unique story. I can't wait to read this. I so far have not given a Colleen Hoover book less than 5 stars. So again, I have very high expectations for this, and I can't wait to read this and talk to Kristen about it. If you guys decide you like any of these books, please buy them, please read them, and I would love to chat with you guys in the comments at the end of the month when I do my monthly roundup / talk about the books that I actually read during the month of February and what my ratings are and things like that. So you guys should check these books out if you are interested. So yeah, my 4th and last buddy read book with Kristen is going to be Finding Cinderella, another Colleen Hoover book. I actually have multiple Colleen Hoover books in this TBR because I love Colleen Hoover and I want to read every single one of her books. So this is Finding Cinderella, and this is a novella, which is a standalone book, but also connected to a series that she has, which is the Hopeless series, which is actually 2 books, Hopeless and then Losing Hope. This is the 3rd book. I cannot wait to read this. This is about a character from Hopeless and Losing Hope. Not one of the main characters, but one of the, I guess she's like a side character. I don't really know what the proper term is. But before you read this book, you should definitely read Hopeless and then Losing Hope. Both of those books are absolutely fantastic. I think Hopeless is tied for first for my favorite book of all time. That and Verity, both by Colleen Hoover. Hopeless is a fantastic book, and then Losing Hope is basically the story of Hopeless, but from the guy's perspective. So it sounds a little redundant, but trust me, it's not. Because of what the book is in Hopeless, Losing Hope is just absolutely phenomenal, and I would highly recommend reading those books. So yeah, check those out first. Finding Cinderella says a chance encounter in the dark leads 18-year-old Daniel and the girl who stumbles across him to profess their love for each other. But this love has conditions. They agree it will last only 1 hour and it will be only make-believe. When their hour is up and the girl rushes off like Cinderella, Daniel tries to convince himself that what happened between them seemed perfect only because they were pretending it was. Moments like that happen only in fairy tales. 1 year and 1 bad relationship later, his disbelief in love at first sight is stripped away the day he meets Six, a girl with a strange name and an even stranger personality. Unfortunately for Daniel, finding true love doesn't guarantee a happily ever after. It only further threatens it. Will an unbearable secret from the past jeopardize Daniel and Six's only chance at saving each other? So Six is the character that is in Hopeless and Losing Hope. And obviously Six seems to be one of the main characters in this book, and I cannot wait to read this because I feel like I wanted more of Six in those first 2 books, and I think this is Colleen giving us that. So this is a pretty short book. This is only, let's see, how many pages is this? Does this have pages? It's like 130 pages-ish. So I could definitely get through this in one sitting / one day. I'm excited to read this. I think this might be my next read. Like, this is next up on the list after The Legacy, and then I'll go into The Fine Print and Addicted and so on. So I can't wait to read this. I love Colleen Hoover and I love Hopeless and Losing Hope, so I hope I love this as much as I love those. And then there's actually 2 other standalone books that are also a part of this same Hopeless series, and they are All Your Perfects and Finding Perfect. So when I say it's a standalone book, you don't have to read the rest of the series to understand these books. Like, they make sense on their own, but they all kind of live in the same universe or the same world, so I assume there's character crossovers and things like that between these 3 books along with Hopeless and Losing Hope. So this is the entirety of the series, and I hope to be able to read all 3 of these. Like I said, they're all pretty short, and I think these will be quick reads. So Finding Cinderella is number 3. All Your Perfects is number 4, and this one says, can a love story with a perfect beginning survive a lifetime between 2 imperfect people? Then, the last thing Quinn expected was to meet the love of her life just outside her fiance's front door. A year after leaving behind their cheating partners, Quinn and Graham are in a perfect relationship that seems designed by fate. Now, 7 years later, their perfect love is threatened by their imperfect marriage. The memories, mistakes, and dreams that they have built up over the years are tearing them apart. The one thing that could save them might also be the very thing that pushes their marriage past the point of no return. So that sounds emotional, it sounds intense, it sounds very Colleen Hoover, and I can't wait to read this. And then the final book in that little string of books that are all somehow connected, we have Finding Perfect, which is another novella. This is even shorter than Finding Cinderella. And this says, Finding Perfect is a short story that brings back several of Colleen's most beloved characters, told from the point of view of Daniel from Finding Cinderella. Readers will finally get the conclusion they've been hoping for. That is so exciting to hear. So this book is going to kind of tie everything together. For the best reading experience, make sure you have read all 4 books that come together to make up this heartwarming story. Hopeless, Losing Hope, Finding Cinderella, and All Your Perfects. So I guess this one you do need to read the other books for it to make sense. But yeah, this is going to be fantastic. I can't wait to read these. I highly recommend checking out Hopeless and starting off the series. And if you love it, continue, because it's fantastic. So those are my Colleen Hoover books that I plan to read this month. I also have a book from Tessa Bailey, and this one seems a little bit weird because this is a Christmas book and it's February, but this is another shorter book that I figured wouldn't take me too long to read, and this is called Window Shopping. I have read one Tessa Bailey book and I absolutely loved it. It was, what is it called? I always want to call it Hook, Line, and Sinker, but that's not the name of it. Hook, Line, and Sinker is the second book, so the sequel to It Happened One Summer. It Happened One Summer was absolutely fantastic. I rated it 5 stars. Very spicy, very fun, and I've been wanting to read more Tessa Bailey since then, and I just haven't gotten the chance. So I bought this back in December when it came out, or maybe even November, and I haven't read it yet, so I figured, you know what, now's the time. We're trying to get through some books, and I think this one is going to be great. This says, 2 weeks before Christmas, and all through Manhattan, shop windows are decorated in red and green satin. I'm standing alone in front of the famous Vivant, I don't know what that is, department store when a charming man named Aiden asks my opinion of the decor. It's a tragedy in tinsel, I say, unable to lie. He asks for a better idea with a twinkle in his eye. Did I know he owned the place? No, he put me on the spot. Now I'm working for that man, trying to ignore that he's hot. But as a down on her luck girl with a difficult past, I know an opportunity when I see one, and I have to make it last. I'll put my heart and soul into dressing his holiday windows. I'll work without stopping. And when we lose the battle with temptation, I'll try and remember I'm just window shopping. You know, I just finished reading that and I realized it was like rhymey, like each 2 lines rhymed. I don't know what that's called, some type of poem. But I thought this would be just a fun read, and even though it's not Christmas time right now, I think it's still gonna be a good time. And then finally, the last book on my February TBR is One of Us is Lying, a completely different book compared to the rest as far as genre goes. This one, I believe they turned into a TV series. I think it's already out. I haven't seen it yet, but there's a sequel to this book called One of Us is Next. This sounds very interesting. It's kind of like a mystery. I don't know how suspenseful it is. I believe this is a young adult book, so I don't think it's anything too crazy. But it says, pay close attention and you might solve this. On Monday afternoon, 5 students at Bayview High walk into detention. Brownin, the brain, is Yale-bound and never breaks a rule. Addie, the beauty, is the picture-perfect homecoming princess. Nate, the criminal, is already on probation for dealing. Cooper, the athlete, is the all-star baseball pitcher. And Simon, the outcast, is the creator of Bayview High's notorious gossip app. Only Simon never makes it out of that classroom. Before the end of detention, Simon is dead, and according to investigators, his death wasn't an accident. On Monday he died, but on Tuesday he'd planned to post juicy reveals about all 4 of his high-profile classmates, which makes all 4 of them suspects in his murder. Or are they just the perfect patsies for a killer who is still on the loose? Everyone has secrets, right? What really matters is how far you would go to protect them. So this is a murder mystery, and like I said, I don't know how intense or scary this is, so definitely look into that before reading it. But like I said, it's high school students. I think this is a young adult fiction book, so I don't think it can be too crazy. I've heard great things about this book, and I can't wait to read this and then the part 2. If I like this one, I'm hoping I like this one. I haven't really heard anything too negative about it, so I feel like I will. I'm a big murder mystery fan. I like the British murder mystery TV shows. I think they are so fun to watch, and I love them. So yeah, that is my list of books that I plan / hope to read in the month of February. Like I said, everything will be linked down below in the description box. Don't forget to go check out Kristen's video, subscribe to her channel, tell her I said hello, or tell her hello and that I sent you, I guess. You don't have to tell her I said hello. I'll just text her and tell her I said hello. I'm just gonna text her right now the word hello, and without any other explanation. All right, it's done. So K-Bugs, when you see this, you'll know why I sent that text message. So anyway, I wanted to give a special thank you to my Diamond members. Thank you so much for your love and support of my YouTube channel. I appreciate you all so much. If you all are interested in becoming a member, I will have the info down below in the description box. I love you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.